All right, we are starting Module 7. This is our unit on polygons. Now, polygons are related to triangles, which is why we do this unit here. All right, but first, before we get into it, I want to touch on something that's going to be a little different this semester. All right, so starting this semester, your essential question is going to change per section. So for 7-1, day 1 and 2, your essential question will be, how can you find the sum of the interior angles measured of a polygon? But once we hit 7-2, your essential question is going to be different. And what we're going to do with this is that you are going to answer that question in the summary. So when I look at your summaries, I'm going to be looking for you to answer this question at the bottom of your notes. Okay? So polygons all have particular names, and they're based on the number of sides that the polygon has. So we are going to be working with convex and regular polygons. Now with convex polygons, all of your vertexes point out, but the sides and angles are not all the same. With a regular polygon, all of the sides and all of the angles are the same. Okay, and today we're going to focus on our interior angles of polygons, and with day 2 we'll focus on the exterior angles. Now you're going to need this little chart right here. You're going to need it throughout the entire unit because a lot of times it will give you a name of the polygon, and you are going to need to know the number of sides, and here's why. All right, so our first theorem, the polygon interior angle sum theorem. The sum of the interior angle measures of an n-sided convex polygon is n minus 2 times 180, where n, okay, n-sided, n is the number of sides. Okay. And the reason why this is n minus 2 times 180, well, any polygon, like this is a pentagon, you can go from one vertex and you can make n minus 2 triangles out of it. So a pentagon has 5 sides. You can go from one vertex and make 3 polygons. And the same holds true for every polygon on Earth. So we know that you can make 3 triangles, and well, what is the measure of the interior of every triangle on Earth? 180 degrees. All right, so this is our formula for when we are dealing with convex polygons. All right. So we're going to find the interior angle sum of a polygon. All right. This has different steps. This has 3 steps. They are laid out for you. All right, first step, we are going to find the sum, all right? We are going to use our equation here. Well, this is a pentagon. Pentagons have 5 sides, so we're going to use this equation of n minus 2 times 180, and in this case, n equals 5. So 5 minus 2 times 180, well, 5 minus 2 is 3. Times 180, and 3 times 180 is 540. So the sum of all 5 angles is 140 degrees. So that's step 1. Step 2, we're going to find the value of x, because you'll notice that in a number of these you have little expressions that have an x, so we're going to find the value of x. So I always start with the first letter of the alphabet that happens to be labeled. In this case it's H. So I'm going to go around from H to M systematically, writing down the expression or whatever I see written in the vertex corner angle. All right, so we start with H is 2x, and we're finding the sums. We're adding 142, 2x, 3x plus 14, 3x plus 14. All right, I've made it all the way around. I should have 5 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we know all of that equals 540 because that was step 1. All right, so I am going to circle all of my terms with x's. I've got 2x plus 2x plus 3x plus 3x, and I'm going to underline my terms that don't have x's. Now I'm going to math. So I got 2x plus 2x plus 3x plus 3x. Well, that is 10x. And then this is plus 142 plus 14 plus 14. Remember, the sign goes with the number behind it. So you do whatever the sign says, and that is 170. And that still equals 540. So we take this incredibly long equation and we turn it into a 2-step equation. So from here we're going to isolate x. So we're going to subtract 170 from both sides. Bring down that 10x, and that equals 370. Last step, divide by 10, and x equals 37. So now we found x, all right? Step 3, we're going to find the measure of each angle, all right? So each angle, h through m. So I'm going to write h, j, k, l, m. And we're going to find the measure of each. So h, how do we find the measure of h? Well, that is 2x, and we found x was 37. 2 times 37 is 74 degrees. J, we were given 142 degrees. No math required. K. K is the exact same as h, so it's also 74 degrees. No math required. We've already done it. L is 3x plus 14, so 3 times 37 plus 14. Well, if you do the math, you get 111 plus 14. 111 plus 14 equals 125 degrees. Now, if you'll notice, m is the exact same as L, so m is also 125 degrees. All right, so when you have a convex polygon, that means all of your sides and all of your angles are not equal. These are our 3 steps that we complete. All right, so now on the back, let's check out and see what we do when we have a regular polygon, okay? So we are going to find the interior angle measure of a regular polygon. All right, when you have a regular polygon, all the sides are equal. And you can tell that because it will tell you with these little tick marks that all of these are congruent, which means they measure the same. And if all of the sides measure the same, then all of your angles measure the same as well. All right, so we have Penny is building a house using a floor plan that she designed. Okay, she designed this floor plan. And what is the measure of A, B, C? All right, we need to find the measure of one specific angle of a regular polygon. So let's start. Okay, so we found the sum of all angles. All right, we know that equation. And that equation is n minus 2 times 180. All right. So that is how when we need to find the sum of all of your angles. All right. But when we need to find the measure of one angle, okay? When we need to find the measure of all angle, we're going to start with this equation of our formula. N minus 2 times 180, okay? N minus 2 times 180. And then we're going to divide that by n, okay? So have a formula to find the measure of one angle. So in this case, what does n equal? N equals, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. N equals 6. So let's see, we're going to find the measure of one angle because that's what it wants, of a regular polygon. So remember, finding the measure of one angle, this will only work for a regular polygon. Okay, this only works for a regular polygon because all the angles and all the sides have to equal each other. Alright, so we have 6 minus 2 times 180 divided by 6. Oh, that's 4 times 180 divided by 6. 4 times 180 is 720 divided by 6. And that equals 120. So the measure of angle A, B, C is 120 degrees. All right, so that is how you find the interior angle of one angle of a regular polygon. Now let's go backwards, okay? Because you know, we love going forwards and backwards. It's because sometimes you are given different things. So let's see. Let's identify the polygon given the interior angle measure. Okay, so it says the measure of an interior angle of a regular polygon, and, okay, interior angle, and means one angle, okay, of a regular polygon is 144 degrees. Find the number of sides in the polygon. So number of sides, well, that's n. That's what we're finding, okay? So we have to choose which formula we're going to use, all right? An interior angle, so that means one angle of a regular polygon. So measure of one angle of a regular polygon. This is our equation we're going to use, okay? So we know we equal 144 degrees. 144 degrees. Well, that equals this equation here of n minus 2 times 180 over n. Okay, and we have to solve for n. So what we're going to do is, I'm not sure if you learned this skill last year, but we are going to turn this into a proportion, and how we do that is we put 144 over 1. Okay, so now we have a fraction on one side, a fraction on the other, and what you can do is you can then cross multiply. Okay, cross multiply. So we're going to cross multiply. So we've got 144n equals n minus 2 times 180. Now we can solve it. I have parentheses, so I'm going to distribute. So that gives me 144n equals 180n minus 360. Now from here you can do it one of two ways. I have two classes, and each class decided to do it a different way. So I'm going to do it where I have fewer math steps. You can do it the other way. I'm going, because normally I tell you the loser moves. Well, if we subtract 144 on both sides, this side will temporarily 0, which is fine. And then you add 360 to both sides, and then you'll divide at the end. And you can totally do it that way. We did it that way 7th period, and that was cool. I'm going to show you how to do it where we have a negative, which is slightly not harder math. It's just you have to be mindful that you're dealing with negative numbers this way. And when you deal with negative numbers, sometimes people lose the negative. All right? So when you are dealing with negative numbers, you end up sometimes losing that negative. But if you don't think you'll lose the negative, feel free. Okay? N equals 10. Now, if you want me to show you how we did it in the other class, all right? So in my other class, okay, 144n equals 180n. Oh, 180 minus 360. Okay, they, biggest, the loser moved. That gave me 0 over here temporarily. You add 360 to both sides because you are trying to isolate n. But with this way, you are only dealing with positive numbers. The math still maths the same. I don't care which way you do it. If you're going to do it this way, don't lose your negative. Because if you do, your answer will be wrong. Because you can't have a negative number of sides. Well, we have 10 sides, so let's look on the front. 10 sides is a decagon. And if you think about it, that does make sense. A decade has 10 years. And so a decagon has 10 sides. So we have 10 sides. And that equals a decagon. All right, make sure you show all of your work. Thank you. Good luck.